to hear Leif talk really openly about the confidence side of the game, and also the social media thing, I thought again was fascinating, because we are massively guilty of, as Stu just said, forgetting these players are human beings. And Leif is, what is he, 25 years old, something like that? I mean, when I was 25, and obviously I know it's around the age you are now, you're still kind of trying to establish who you are as a person, really. So to have all that going on off the pitch, and then on the pitch, you make a mistake, you get dogs abuse on social media. He was talking about people saying things about his family on there, and this, that, and the other. Obviously, Piers Morgan comes out and calls him a thug. This is tough for anyone to handle, let alone a 25-year-old playing at the highest level he's ever played at, and just trying to do his best.
Yeah, absolutely. I was quite impressed that Leif was up for press last week, and coming back straight from a 3-match suspension, coming in, I think he comes across as someone that can be quite shy, but if you get him to talk, can really open up and talk really openly if it's something that he wants to talk about, or if it's something that he enjoys talking about, like flight simulators or something like that, then you can really dig quite deep into that, and it becomes really interesting. And we'll start off with the social media abuse. I'd seen a lot of that aimed at him as someone who's like chronically on Twitter and social media. There's a lot, and fans of top 6 clubs in particular are the kind of people that will go and go into DMs and send death threats and stuff like that, and you see it a lot on social media. And I think that it can so easily get brushed under the carpet. It's just words. It's just that. But the effect that it will have, especially on someone from his background who's not at all used to that. He hasn't come through an elite academy. He's come in at Ipswich and gone up the ranks, and is now playing a high-profile role in this team. And then to be faced with something like that, I thought really must have hit quite hard. So speaking to him about that, he was really open to talk about it. When I asked about that and the Piers Morgan comments, of course, and he said, yeah, of course, it really hits hard. And it's the kind of thing where you have to take a step back over the course of a week or two and let things blow over. But doing that is really difficult. So I think that for something like that, and to come back from that, for starters, he deserves huge credit. And in terms of the confidence knock that he must have had, I think you could almost see it a lot in his performances. But then to come out and openly admit it is a whole other side of it, isn't it? As we've kind of alluded to. And again, coming forward in a public setting and saying that, and saying, I'm disappointed with my performances, but I feel that I have taken this kind of hit in confidence, and it's tough going out there trying to mark Bukayo Saka. And he's openly as well. He talked about, he's not the best defender, and he talked about Jacob Greaves. Actually, he's come in. Jacob Greaves, as a left back in the Premier League, has been a better option for Ipswich. Is kind of what he was saying, because he's a better defender. And what we've had in the last few games at Newcastle and in the latter stages against Arsenal and Everton and games like this, Jacob Greaves as a better defender has suited this team better. So I think you see someone who's really humble, who could easily, when things were going so well, have let his mind go to different places about England call-ups and joining Newcastle or something like that. But the fact that he's managed to stay so down to earth, and I think is very much aware that he needs to take a step back to the Championship to take a step forward. I think he's someone who's very wise in the way of knowing what his career needs to be to kind of take the next step.
Yeah, good stuff from Leif. Very interesting. Right, Stu. Oh, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to talk about the social media stuff in general. Yeah. We all have days, right, where we're more inclined to let sort of water off a duck's back. Sort of, you can be in a just a better, more stable place in your life at times, and 1 or 2 social media comments, we get a very, very small taste of it, don't we? In our industry, nothing compared to what elite athletes get. But sometimes, and I think I found this with footballers, the lower down the pyramid you get, there's not as much noise around you, but in some ways that becomes louder, because I think at Premier League level, it can almost become white noise. There's so much of it, it becomes nothing. But then it only takes 1 or 2 comments, and if it just touches a nerve, sometimes it can grow in your mind, can't it? And suddenly, Alex and I will say things. Oh, did you see all the massive reaction to that? And then sometimes I'll have to say, how many comments was it? And you go, oh, actually, it was 3. And you go, well, it's 3 comments. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. It's always the vocal minority sometimes, and you do have to take a step back. But if it gets you on a given day where things, there's other things that are pressing your buttons and stuff, it's tough. And I think we do have to remember that. So well done, Leif, for talking the way he did, and well done on your performance. We know he knows there's still areas of his game to improve, but he's a very good footballer going forwards. And I thought there was a reminder of that in this game. So that's encouraging ahead of life back in the Championship.